Hey there, have you ever thought about why we often feel the need to buy expensive brands to fit in and feel a sense of luxury or self-worth? To why we actually need to buy these items. First, let's talk about why this is a huge issue. Social pressure. We often feel the pressure to keep up with other people, especially when we're looking on social media. The desire to be accepted and to be admired can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's hard to even see the real reason for why we do things with ourselves and sit down and think about this and reflect on it. We could be trying to escape something and missing the actual point of what we're trying to do. We could be missing certain elements that could actually bring us more fulfillment, as opposed to just buying luxury items or trying to impress other people. That is a constant loop. The person that's driving that really luxury great car, in reality they look at their bank account and they're in huge amounts of debt, and it's this kind of like false perception that everyone's doing really well, but in reality they're struggling just like everyone else. Well, it's time to break it down, and here's why it's a problem for many of us and the negative consequences that can follow because of this. Now, let's first talk about the issue of why it is an issue. Our peers, especially if we're on social media, the desire to be accepted and admired can be overwhelming. It's really important that we are honest with ourselves for why we do things and really look at the consequences of those decisions and who and what we're trying to. And my experience not being honest with myself, that I felt that I had to get a specific brand just because I felt that it was the only one that desired, when in reality there's actually more going on in your attachment to buying that brand because of you feel that it's connected to your self-worth, that you can't consider any other brand because it will reflect negatively on your own self-worth. When you're spending high amounts on luxury brands, it can have a real cost on your own financial freedom. Overspending and going into debt to maintain an image can limit your long-term financial well-being. And this is something that's been really revealing for me, and I wish I'd known this sooner. I remember my first experience of going into a high-end store and buying a Hugo Boss polo shirt and having this attachment that this polo shirt I could have gone to somewhere like Primark and bought for a tenner, and this polo shirt was something like £100. And the fact that this polo shirt was branded, it kind of felt like it meant more to me. But I was literally 16 at the time, and £100 could have gone to a lot more experiences. Or that purchase of that item, you actually don't really feel that great. You're at home and you've got all these great things, but it doesn't really change who you are. It might give you a little bit of self-confidence when you go out, but in reality, they're kind of a little bit of a short-term ticket to nowhere. And trying to fit in with authentic brands can actually lead to an inauthentic life. You might lose sight of who you truly are and what you genuinely value. I know I value contribution and contribution towards the world, and buying those expensive brands in the past have really affected my contribution to society and humanity as a whole. And I'd wished I'd known about this lack of self-worth in relation to why I was so attached to the brands that I was buying. Negative consequences of this behavior: stress and unhappiness. The constant comparison and pressure to buy can lead to stress, envy, and even a lack of contentment. Financial strain, which ultimately might not be there today, it might not ever be there, but genuinely, you might look back in 10 years. I know from my experiences, I look back and you look at the effects of you've accumulated debt from store credit cards, or you've bought things on your credit card, which maybe looking back, you've neglected saving, which can put you in a cycle of financial insecurity, causing unnecessary stress. Fulfillment. True fulfillment often comes from experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Relying on the material possessions can lead to so many missed opportunities. I give an example. Nothing speaks more than this, than going out on a shopping spree to buy brands or to buy certain branded goods and materialistic things, and then not having the funds to then go and experience a holiday or a trip or going somewhere with your friends because you don't have financial freedom, because you've not budgeted, because you've gone and bought these brands. So essential to strike a balance between this social acceptance and your own personal values. And I beg that you just don't let the pressure to buy expensive brands affect your own happiness and financial freedom. Remember, genuine connections and a life that aligns with your true self can lead to a more fulfilling, happy, and authentic life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like and share with your friends, and don't forget